Well, we personally appreciate what you do because you show us what we don't know. Sometimes you go on the plane, you're like, I wonder what he's doing.
What is you think?
Yeah, what is he thinking? I wonder how is he flying the plane? What is he doing? But then through videos, we understand. Oh, this is what's going on. Yeah.
Role models are very important in life, because there are people that we look up to, they inspire us, we follow their steps, we want to achieve what they have achieved. For example, I have a lot of role models. The first one is my father and others that I look up to. For example, in the aviation industry, I really like what Elon Musk is doing in space travel, Jeff Bezos, and some other people like Richard Branson. They're all taking aviation to the next level. So, Captain, do you have any role models in the aviation industry, the people that you are looking up to when you are young, and how did they inspire you in your journey to becoming a pilot?
As I said before, back in the days, it was so hard for people to meet pilots and talk to them. So that gave me that energy to fight for what I want. But as I grew up and started aviation in general, like started training and stuff like that, I met people. I met people who built me, people who never looked down on me. People who always gave me the positive energy I needed. There are people like that. One of those people is Captain Hamza Mapachu. I always say this. Most of my friends would know him because I always talk so highly about him. He was my boss. He was a fellow pilot. He has trained me in different aircrafts. And when I was down on the floor, he picked me up and made me who I am. So I always go back to him. Whatever happens in my career, he's usually the first person I call and be like, this has happened. This is happening right now. Of course, in general, my parents, my mom has always been my rock. She's always believed in me. Because my mom is one of those people who you don't just go to her and tell her stuff like, I want to be somebody. You go out there, start your journey, and then she'll meet you halfway. That's my mom. So you just don't sit home and be like, I want to be this person. I need 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you go out there, fight for it. Halfway, when I see you start falling, then I'll pick you up and put you there.
And I think that's the best way to show your parents that you really want something.
Yeah.
I mean, so talk about Mr. Mapachu, and you have talked about how someone has been able to pick you up when you've fallen. When you started your career as in the aviation school, you started somewhere. You started at A.
Yeah.
But then you have to get all the way to Z, the up top. And there has been some growth within. So who was Brian then and who's Brian now? You said you've been in the industry for 10 years. You've been in the career you've been in that career for 10 years. So how much growth have you seen from yourself just by every day, the difference every day makes? Talking to Mr. Mapachu, talking to different people. What type of growth have you seen with yourself, and what are the top 3 things that you've seen have changed from the brand that was 10 years ago before you started and the brand that's today?
First and foremost is the way I think, the way I see things. Captain Mapachu is one of the most positive people I know. They would take a negative situation and just change it to the most positive thing you'd ever imagine. Whereas I could not think of that, So he enabled me to think that way. Think of things like, not everything is green. There are people who see green, blue, and they still make it. You understand? There are people who are blind today, but they leave. There are people who have a deformity in themselves, and they still survive. You have everything. Why do you want to let a negative energy destroy all that positivity? You understand? Use that positivity to just convert everything. So that, back in the days, if I do something wrong, I would want to just curse at myself and be like, why do that? I can't do this. I cannot do this. I remember when he started training me in the Twin Otter. It's a type of an aircraft. I hate failing. I hate failing. It kills me when I fail in anything. So I remember this day, my first flight, um, came in for landing. I bounced that. It was a very hard landing. I could not do it. I told him, Captain, I cannot do this. I can't do this. I cannot. I know I've disappointed you. You know what he told me? You're going to do this again. In life, you will fail. You will fall. But you don't stop moving. You know? So such words, believe me, such words mean a lot in somebody's life. Somebody out there, there's somebody listening to this right now, will be like, I needed this. I needed to hear this. I've had friends who have gone through so many things in life, not just the aviation aspect. I myself, how I started doing these videos was because at some point in my life, I was down on the floor and I had to pick myself up and realize that, you know what? It's not my time to stop. I need to keep going. This failure or this, whatever's happened to me, I need to start from there. That's the start to something positive. You know? As I say, tuishi, just live life. Let's just live life. It's not about your friends, it's not about your family, it's not about anybody else, but it's all about you. Yeah.
Very true. We all face challenges in life, and we should not let the challenges stop us from what we want to be. I even remember one of my mentors, he gave me a very simple example on one of these days. He asked me, like, if I give you $1,440 right now, and then you go outside and you lose $40, are you going to throw the 1,400 away just because you lost $40? I was like, no, I cannot. Why would I do that? It's insane. But most people do that. You have 1,440 minutes in a day. So you can have 40 bad minutes, but you wouldn't let your whole day be ruined by just those 40 minutes. Exactly. So in life, the same. You can have one bad month, one bad day, one bad year. Doesn't mean you have a bad life. You should keep moving, you should keep going as life goes on. And you have to live, as I just said. You should keep living. Tuendelee tuishi.
Yep. They say for every 60 minutes of sadness, you have lost 1 hour of happiness.
Captain Brian, before we end the episode, I have a last question to ask you. I mean, thank you for everything that you've shared with us. You've shared some important messages to the people. I hope you guys have taken the notes as much as I have. One of the important things that I've taken is don't hold the rope for too long. Is because I feel like that's what we go wrong. We feel like just because I started this, I have to finish it. Or just because someone told me to do it, I have to finish it. But at the end of the day, one of the things that stick in my head is that just because you have a passion for something does not mean there has to be a career. Where did I get this? I got this from Mark Cuban when they were talking about the whole issue of Shark Tank. People come sell sponges to go wipe the utensils. I don't think someone in the back of their head slept and woke up that I want to sell a sponge that we're going to sell utensils. But at the end of the day, that same thing that they were selling is one of the profitable businesses that have come in Shark Tank. So end of the day, don't just go for something you're passionate about. Go for it. But for example, Captain Brian, he said his dream was to become a pilot. But end of the day, he also found a way to integrate with social media. And I feel like that's a good way to show things that you could have a passion for something, you could go for it, and it will work out for you. But if it doesn't work out for you, there's alternatives. Let go of the rope. That's an important message I took upon myself. But so Captain Brian, we've talked about social media, we have talked about becoming a captain. But what's next for you? Is there a very big project that's coming about for you? Or what's next?
Okay, me being a pilot was just a career. But what do I want for myself? I always wanted to own an airline. But Tuishi came along. Tuishi is just a phrase. Tuishi is just, as I said before, Tuishi is just a word that I use to give myself the energy that there's more to life than just what you are or whatever it is, what's happening in your life right now. But as it went, people got to know Tuishi, and it became a brand. It became a company, and under Tuishi, I believe there's so many things coming up under Tuishi. Tuishi is just the umbrella. Underneath, I don't want to say what's coming, but I believe that Tuishi will touch everybody, each and everyone that will understand what Tuishi is.
So for the people that don't know what Tuishi is, or they want to find out what Tuishi is, how can they know about it? Is there a social media page?
For now, Tuishi has so many sub parts about it. There's the travel part, there's the lifestyle part, there's the fitness part, there is photography part, and so many other. For now, Tuishi is just the travel and lifestyle, and probably at some point I'll actually introduce something else for Tuishi. But I'm coming up with something for myself to explain what, because so many people keep asking me, what is Tuishi? Why do you have Tuishi? What does it mean? But I could just say something. If you look at the logo Tuishi, the Tuishi logo itself, it's two and then a walking person, then she. What it simply means, the two is only two letters. And the guy is walking towards, like from the left to the right, he's moving forward. And then she is three letters. So there's more to focus up ahead than what's behind you. That's one. Two, as I said, I love music. The guy, the logo, it's a guy wearing a headphone. It means when I'm moving along to look for what's more up there, I don't stop doing what I love. I still have my music on. Same time, on the Tuishi fonts, it's a cityscape. They're like buildings and everything. It means I was raised in the city. So it's three things in Tuishi: moving forward, born and raised in the city, and still doing what I love to do, which is music. So that's Tuishi. So that applied to everybody else. I believe everyone has a